We hear all the time as Christian couples, put God first in your marriage. But what does that look like in everyday married life?
That's right. We both grew up in church, so we always heard when you get married, you have to put God first in your marriage. So when we got married, we were like, what does that look like? And how do we even do that?
So the first sign we missed that was screaming at us that we were not putting God first in our marriage was this. We were too busy for each other and too busy for God. Back in the fall of 2022, our youngest son was playing high school basketball going into his senior year, and he was chasing his dream of playing college basketball. And I was determined as a father to do whatever it took to get him to the next level. I carried that badge like it was a moniker of honor. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I carried it like a heavy burden.
During this time, we were so laser focused on getting our son into college that I started to feel overlooked as a wife. I wasn't being seen, heard, or valued in the way that I needed. And honestly, I began to question if this was the man I was even supposed to be married to. It was like we weren't connecting, and the love and the intentionality that we once had, that was fading. But I put all those feelings to the side because I knew how crucial it was to get our son into college. So I pushed on, and I literally gave everything I had to make that happen. The problem was, while I was giving everything to our son's future, I was not taking care of the foundation of our marriage.
Yeah. You know, those days it was a blur of busyness. Days started early with 6 a.m. workouts. So we would leave the home about 5:15 a.m. Had to take him about 30 to 45 minutes. The opposite way of my job, drop him off at an early morning 6 a.m. workout, drive about another 45 minutes in pre-dawn LA traffic. Hit that 8 hours at the job, and immediately I'm right back on the freeway in LA bumper to bumper traffic, going to some gym or some practice or some tournament or some workout. This was 7 days a week, nonstop. Our nights were spent in crowded gymnasiums,
smelly gymnasiums.
Adolescent teen boys, right? Referee whistles just echoing in our ears. Deborah, we were in an endless loop of what's next.
That's right.
And it was beyond busy. Like I said, this was relentless, nonstop, 7 days a week. You know, I told myself that I was doing it for the family. It's for our son's future. But really, I was in survival mode. Basketball had become such a focal point in my life that the rest of life, it was like background noise. And I put everything else on the back burner, including my marriage.
Yeah, we were just so busy. Everything was about who's picking him up, what time are we dropping him off, where are we going, what gym are we going to. We even did out-of-state college visits. Right, so then it was like, okay, what time does the airplane leave? What time you have to be at the airport? What time you have to come back? What days are we taking off for work? It was just on and on and on. It
was so crazy because I remember he had some out-of-state tournaments, and we had to actually, he flew down to Atlanta.
Right.
And we were going to Arizona. He had a camp in Arizona.
That's right.
So we drove to Arizona while he was in Atlanta. And in fact, while we were driving to Arizona, he was on a flight headed from Atlanta to Arizona. We had to pick him up from the airport. And not that this parenting thing is bad, but you know, my point is that it got so bad. We were like teammates running a household, and instead of acting like a Christian couple nurturing a godly marriage.
That's right.
And, our date nights, the little time we had, they just stopped. Our little connection time and marriage check-ins, they completely stopped because we were so busy. The time finally came, though, where he graduated high school.
Yes. He graduated high school and he went off to college
to play basketball. Praise God. Right?
Yes, he did play basketball.
So job well done. So we couldn't wait to get our date nights back and to start doing our marriage thing and doing us, right?
Right.
Start doing us and having our marriage check-ins. But every night we found ourselves, I won't tell it, I'll let you tell this part.
So every night after he left, we just found ourselves sitting on the couch. And that was it.
Lounging.
Because we were so physically, mentally, and emotionally drained from that never-ending, nonstop whirlwind. Like you said, it wasn't just Monday through Friday. It was Saturdays. It was Sundays. All of that. So when it finally ended, we were still kind of numb from everything that we had to do.
It was about 3.5 or 4 years of basketball running our lives, and it left us mentally and physically just exhausted. I'd say that we suffered from PTBS, post-travel ball syndrome. It's real, y'all. Post-travel ball. Some of y'all know about that.
That's right.
Travel ball syndrome is real. Like, what's next?
It is so real.
It's real, but post-travel ball syndrome, it hits different now. So we were just sitting on the couch and we couldn't even have deeper conversations. You talked about how we just talked about schedules and who's picking him up and all that. We couldn't even have deeper conversations because we just didn't have the capacity to do it because we were so drained.
And I think we even forgot how to do it because we had done it in so long. Everything was all about logistics.
All about logistics.
At that point.
So we were just mentally and spiritually drained, and spiritually, we were bankrupt.
That's right.
So,
yeah, I was going to say, so going back to, this was our first sign that was screaming at us that we were not putting God first in our marriage, was that we were too busy.
That's right.
We were just caught up in the busyness of life. We were too busy for God and for each other.
Yeah, that's right.